Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another review for Anime Month, and back to reviewing the Inuyasha movie series. So now we're on the third one now. Inuyasha the Movie 3, Swords of an Honorable Ruler. Now once again released a year after the second one, so this one released in 2003, but in North America released in 2005. Yeah. Yeah, released in 2003 in Japan, and then 2005 in North America. And once again on IMDb, this one was given a much higher rating than the previous two ones. So like each one on IMDb is proving to people it's proving to be much better than the other one. So this one gets a 7.7. So now in this foretale that now in this one, the third film, it takes place towards the end of the sixth season, which is like after episode I want to say 136, which is like a little bit towards the end, which is towards the end of the sixth season. So that's where this one takes place in. And in the third film, how it opens up, we do get to. In this one, we get to witness of how we get to witness Inuyasha's birth, how he was born, and we get to see more of Inuyasha and Sesshomaru's father, because their father was this great dog demon, and their father, which fell in love with a human, which is Inuyasha's mother, named Izaoi, and there's while at Lady Izaoi is in labor, but to give birth, and there's this warrior named Kirby Morrow. He kills her, but thanks to Inuyasha's father, who wields three swords. He wields three swords, which this new sword is introduced in this movie. He uses the Tenseiga, which is the power to heal, which he uses it to heal Izaoi, which now she has given birth to Inuyasha. And also before he has a conversation with Sesshomaru, saying, do you have someone to protect? Which he didn't understand, because Sesshomaru has always wanted power, but that's why his father gave the Tenseiga to him, and that's one of the reasons why he's very bitter and hatred towards his brother, because he's mad because his father chose to give the Tenseiga to Inuyasha instead of him. One of the reasons, but especially when he despises Inuyasha just for being a half-breed, a half-demon. And during when the mansion catches fire, Inuyasha, his father, names him, gives him, before the mansion burns out, he gives him his name, and while his wife runs off, as the mansion gets burned to the ground and he died, was also along with Morrow, which is funny, because in the show in the Netherworld, their father's remains, when he was a big giant of the dog demon, his remains is in the Netherworld, as we've seen from the show. And then since while Tenseiga is passed to Sesshomaru, Tenseiga is passed to Inuyasha. Now with the third sword of Sounga, has been tossed into the Bone Eater's Well, which is now in the present day of Tokyo, where Kagome's family has it, but then the seal has been broken because there's the spirit of the sheath that holds the Sounga, which is the spirit of it was named Seiya, who was supposed to keep it sealed, but then it gets broken, and then it follows towards Inuyasha, who's in the modern world with the Kagome for right now, and it shows a vision of how, if someone wills it, it shows a vision of the future of Tokyo is in ruins. So Inuyasha takes it and the sword grabs hold of him, starts making him act like a demon again. His eyes glowing red, or whatever, and so he decided to take it back into the feudal era, and Sesshomaru senses it, and they both fight. And then Kagome returns to the feudal era, and Miyoga, the Fleek Demon, he and Seiya, and also Todesai, the guy who made the weapons as they are, the Tenseiga and the Tenseiga, how they are. They all three of them, flashback how they knew after their father's death, they decided to give to the swords to each of them, but they didn't know what to do with the Sounga, so that's when they decided to toss into the Bone Reaper as well. And so they'll follow, and then eventually since Sesshomaru and Inuyasha are fighting, and before Inuyasha gets hurt, and when Sesshomaru is going to attack again, Kagome she jumps in, says the command sit, and which it works, and the Sounga flies away, and but at the same time it broke the beads of subjugation. It broke to pieces. So now that Inuyasha is free of it, and at the same time, this ogre demon takes the sword, brings it to Tokimoro's grave, and Sounga revives him with the arm of Sesshomaru. So the Sesshomaru's left arm, which in the show when they fought in the Netherworld, Inuyasha over the Tenseiga, Inuyasha cut off Sesshomaru's arm. So that Sounga takes that arm and gives it to Takemura, who in the beginning, Inuyasha and Sesshomaru's father cut off his left arm as well, so gives it to him along with Sounga, because it's speaking for itself. So he takes that, goes to this big place where these soldiers are, kills them all, and then brings it back to makes it his army of the dead. And of course, when they get there, well, Inuyasha is fighting one army, and then Sesshomaru is fighting one, because let's say every single view I'm going to be yawning, because like I said, I'm just exhausted, so I'm doing all these pre-recordings, I'm tiring myself out, so I apologize for that, but get it done, because I've been doing all these pre-recordings, so, but that ogre demon takes Rin and Kagome, but they have to, but it turns out that the Sesshomaru and Inuyasha have to work together, because Sounga's sword, its weapon, was technique, you say. The Dragon Twister is a very devastating thing, which you can level out entire villages. But they need to they need to join forces together, because the combination of the Tenseiga and the Tenseiga combine their attacks together is the only way to defeat the Sounga sword. And which also then is that the three swords, which their father wielded, is a representation of the three worlds. Like the Tenseiga, the power to heal as represents heaven, Sounga represents the hell, and the Tenseiga represents earth. So So Shomaru was fighting Tokimura with this Sunga, which he can't barely fight because with the Tenseiga it's power to heal, so it's basically a useless sword to him. That's why he despises it, and they're all attacking. They're like Inuyasha and Tsushima, like they're always getting each other's way, butting heads even while fighting. And then eventually Takamuro is defeated. Before he dies, he realizes how he loved Inuyasha's mother, and then he just fades away, just back into a skeleton. But the arm with the Sunga makes a new body for itself, and then it opens up. Basically opens up the gate to hell, basically, and let the undead rule out the real world. But once again, they wanted to defeat it. It's for Sesshomaru and Inuyasha to use their swords together to defeat it, but they can't, and because they don't get along. And then finally they do, but because Inuyasha, because he says something that reminds what the father said to Sesshomaru at the beginning. He's like, "Do you have someone to protect?" Inuyasha says the same thing because his half human side, he wants to protect Kagome. But of course, what Sesshomaru reminding what his father said, you have someone to protect. He's thinking of Ran. There was Ran and there's Jokin. Well, he doesn't give a shit. We all know that he doesn't give a shit about Jokin. He doesn't care about him. But Ran, because Ran likes Sesshomaru. But at the end he says he used the attack with Inuyasha's backlash wave, but he says, "I have nobody to protect." Yeah, even though Ran, which. If he has nobody to protect, then why does he go to Rin's rescue if he has nobody to protect? But Rin always asking Sesshomaru to save her, but at the same time, he has nobody to protect. And so, but they do combine their powers, and the sword is sealed forever in hell now. And before both their father has appeared before them, because Inuyasha, he's never seen his father before, so, and the father basically thanks both their sons for sealing the Sunga sword away forever. But after all that, Sesshomaru, it's like once again he just brushes it off like nothing, and then just walks away. As usual. It's like the same thing with Kikyo, although Kikyo does not appear in this movie. But she just just helps off one thing and then just goes and walks away, brushes it off too. And same thing with Sesshomaru. After all that, just walks away, like brushes it off basically like nothing's happened. And Kagome is asking, he's like, "Oh, has he ever wondered what your father looked like?" He's like, "Don't care." So. And now, and once again after the credits, Inuyasha, Kagome tells him to close his eyes because she has something for him, and she puts the bead necklace back on him. So now she said, "I don't want you going off alone again." And he goes again once again and says, "Sit, boy." So this is much shorter than usual. Than the previous ones. But Inuyasha in the movie and the Swords of an Honorable Ruler, I do like. But like I said, even though Sesshomaru has a much more larger role than he had in the previous two movies, because he's one of the main characters of the story. Because it's basically still the fight between the bad blood between the two brothers here. Like Sesshomaru, he still does. Despises his younger brother because he's a half-breed, and still upset why the Tenseiga chose their father chose the Tenseiga to give the Tenseiga to Inuyasha, and why he's let the Tenseiga. Although there was a moment when during the first fight that they had, when Inuyasha had the Suunga sword, Sesshomaru did manage to grab the Tetsaiga, even though despite the barrier, he still managed to get it and use it the one time to send him back. So that one time he did get to use the Tetsaiga, but it hurts him though because of the barrier. But I still like it. Like I said, I still like it. But like I said, the chronological order how I list as a favorite of these movies is basically in the number order. It comes like the first, second, and the third film. So, and that's why the fourth film is my least. I do like it though, but it's my least favorite. Like I said, it's the fourth one, and that's my least favorite of the four movies. So, but I'll get to that on the next review. But the Swords of an Honorable Ruler, I still like. Like, I think the humor. Well, the score once again by Kuru Wada is basically still the same score once again. But as I said, it's still the same. But I think it's still fine. The Sesshomaru has much more of a larger role in this movie because it shows the fight between the two of them. But I still like it. I still like it. So, but it's. Like I said, it's my third favorite of it. Like I said, it's third movie. It's my third favorite. So yeah, this is my thoughts on Inuyasha the Movie 3, Swords of an Honorable Ruler. And let's say we got to see of how Inuyasha was born. We had to see more of their father and more of his mother. That's one of the things they wanted to put on. So. But yeah, but that's my thoughts on the third one. I still like it though. At least we got to see like the backstory, how he was born, all that, and although we still see that the Sesshomaru still despises him, but I still enjoy it because I'm a fan of the show and I still enjoy the show and I like the movie. So that's my thoughts on the third one. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the final of the Inuyasha movies. Now that next one is called, Fire on the Mystic Island. Later.